Hi everyone, Naji here again from najishaw.com. Today I want to share with you this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, and this book was the book that started it all for me, started my journey of my own personal finance and my business journey. And it's very nostalgic to me, and I first chanced upon it when I visited my friend's house. Ratna, thank you so much, hope you're doing well. And you must know that this video, right, I have 3 key lessons for you. But I want to share with you a little bit about Rich Dad Poor Dad and Robert Kiyosaki, right? My parents never taught me about money. Zero, nada, zilch, right? And I just observe a lot of bad and weird money habits, a lot of borrowing, a lot of money fights, but never about investing, never about making more, never about what's assets, And this book, right, is so close to my heart. I will pick up once in a while, now and then, to go through it again, to glean as much as I can from this book. Thanks Robert for writing this. It's very easy to understand. It's a lot of simple stories and simple examples that just made it easy for me. Okay. So if you have read Robert's books, right, you know that Robert is fairly successful. He's very successful entrepreneur, and real estate investor. But he didn't start off that way. His story is quite a common story. It's a familiar sounding rag to riches story. His father, Robert's father, is a school teacher. I think it's Hawaii, and who didn't learn about money. So he was an employee. He was a state-sponsored school teacher, and whenever he wanted to earn more money, Robert's dad would then go and study more, get more certificates, go get more courses, get more paper degrees, to earn more. And it was kind of limiting, because how many of you know, right, where normally when you go for more education, it's not always you get a lot more pay increment. If you get more, good for you. But I haven't seen that many people who get more certificates and then they earn a lot more all of a sudden, Robert's dad has quite a poor or sad story. He was doing fairly okay as a school teacher, but he lost a major battle when he entered politics to try to run for some political seats, I think governor or something, and then he got really smashed out, right? And then because of that loss, right, he couldn't really go back to work as a teacher, and then he tried to withdraw all his earnings and then to go into franchise to start a business. But of course, being an employee, just jumping into being an entrepreneur, he didn't know better, so he truly lost it all. So like a double whammy. On the other hand, Robert has a very close friend, who has a very wealthy dad, and then Robert was in a very interesting position where he could see, like a left and right, what his poor dad was doing wrong about money and what his close friend's wealthy dad was doing right about money. And Robert's story, actually, he didn't start off as a business owner, entrepreneur. He was actually a fighter pilot for a while, in the Vietnam War. Then he did sales stint in Fuji Xerox before saving money to start his first company. And the first company was a very successful business doing nylon Velcro wallet, right? It was super successful, it was a big hit, and there was a lot of merchandising opportunities with big brands, right? But eventually, the company fell apart due to overseas competition, piracy, blah blah blah, and he became a bankrupt. It was quite a blow for most normal people, right? Eventually, Robert had developed success in the field of financial education. Till today, his company is called Rich Dad, right? And personal growth. He gave lots of seminars until he published the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and then he came up with a tabletop game to teach people of all ages how to break through financially, how to not be sucked into the rat race. And one of the mascot of the I remember one of the mascot of the game was actually an actual cartoon mascot rat. It's a quite cute game, and it was a smashing success. And in this video, I want to share with you the 3 key lessons that really struck home for me, struck close to my heart, right? And the first lesson is this: the concept of making your money work for you. If you cannot grasp the concept of making your money work for you, then all your life you'll be working for money. I'm going to say this one more time. Okay, this bears repeating. If you cannot grasp the idea of making your money work for you, to multiply, to have $1 makes 20 cents every year for you, then you will be doomed to have to work for money forever. Okay? You see, as an employee, right, or a contractor, most of the time you get paid for your time. Sometimes you get paid a little bit more bonus, and that's pretty much it, right? If you don't work, there's no income, right? The rich, on the other hand, right, though they work really hard, sometimes they don't work that hard, but when they work, right, they have a focus, they have a purpose. When they work, is to work to earn or raise money or provide capital or cash flow to build or buy assets that make more money for them, right? So you won't see people who are rich or desire to be rich stuck in something to work just for money. There's a reason. It's interim, it's a bridging thing, it's a transition thing. And this brings me to point number two, the key lesson. So key lesson number one, you got to learn or understand the concept of making your money work hard for you. Lesson number two, you got to know the difference between assets and liabilities. Number two is that you must understand assets are stuff that puts money in your wallet. Your wallet. So assets, right? Assets put money into your wallet or bank account. Liabilities, on the other hand, take it out, take it away, right? Robert explains in his book that rich people, they acquire assets such as securities, real estate, investments that makes more money for them. These assets put money into their bank accounts and their wallets, but conversely, poor people, right, they tend to acquire stuff that are liabilities, that are truly liabilities. They are such as commitments, obligations, and shit that take money away from them and make them poor. I always thought Robert was kidding and he was just, blowing things off, making things big, right? But I realized over the years as I work, as I live, as I observe, I know people personally. I see people every day. I know people personally who shell out thousands of dollars monthly for an expensive car, but $0 into investing. Not much conversations about investing for the long term, making more. So what Robert said then, let me see how old this was when I first got it. I got it in 2002, so this book was published in 1997. 1997, how many years ago? 25 years ago. 25 years ago. What Robert mentioned then still applies today. People are people, I guess. So you gotta understand, assets are anything at all that makes more money for you. It makes money for you and more money for you. Okay, this could include stocks of public listed companies. It could include real estate. It could include cryptocurrency. As long as it makes money for you, that's an asset. Okay, so let me give you an example. If you buy good stock, you buy a stock of a good business on the share market, you're gonna, at the right time, right, you're probably gonna make a positive return. Say you put in $1,000, right? After 5 years, if you enter at a good price, 5 years later, your original 1,000 would have grown 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, maybe 2,000. I don't know, right? We don't know. As long as it makes money for you, it is an asset, and that's the fundamentals to investing. Within X amount, and after X period of time, you times 2, times 3, times 4, or whatever it is, as long as it makes money for you. That's the fundamentals of assets and investing into assets. So you need money, find the right investment, enter at the right time or good-ish time, and do nothing but hold or hodl, and watch your money grow. Okay, don't mess it up. After a while, you can sell it for a good profit. But what if you don't know how and don't have the money yet? Okay, let's head on to point number 3 that I picked up. Okay, save as much as you can. Be brutally, aggressive and ruthless with cutting down unnecessary expenses. Okay, expenses are the number one thing that you can fully control over, have full control over. You know, like I can't control how much a share price can be. If I could control how much share price can be, I'll be really rich, right? So we don't have control over market forces. We don't have control over stock market. We don't have control over, you know, how clients behave most of the time in business, right? But what I can control over, I can control how much I spend and what I spend on, right? So if I can aggressively and ruthlessly cut down unnecessary spending, you know, and live very, very minimally, you know, there are two direct benefits of this. By living on a smaller budget, what happens that you become, what's the word? You need lesser to retire on. You can become financially independent faster. So for some people, they need to save so much because they're spending so much, they need to work until they're 60 years old before they can fully retire. But if your spending is 10% of that, you could probably retire 10 times earlier. So if the person needs to work 40 years to retire, you can probably retire in 4 to 5 years. Have you just consider that? Let's have a think about that, right? Or you free up so much of your extra money, you have so much savings that you can invest and you can buy more assets that make more money for you. And this will just accelerate your financial independence, accelerate your becoming richer and wealthier, you know. And this just frees you up. And that's the key. I feel that's the key that of the 3 key lessons that I learned from this book. No matter how many times I read, this is the key, you know. So to recap, the 3 key lessons I learned from Rich Dad Poor Dad's first book, you know, is number 1, make your money work harder for you. Number 2, make your money work harder for you by buying more and more assets that put money in your pocket, and you reduce spending, right? So that you can buy more assets that put money in your pocket. And this is the 3 key lessons that I need to let you know today. So I'll probably include a link below, an Amazon link to this book if you want to buy and support me. Don't buy it, at least buy for yourself, man. It changed my life. I came across this book in 2002 as a student, and it truly opened my eyes to you know, personal finance, saving money, business. It just changed the way I think about money in a positive way. And I feel that Robert also is truly one of my rich dad that changed my life, because in my family nobody spoke about it. So that's all I have for you today. Take care. Bye.